There is no free lunch, a statement my father used to always recite to me when it was time to do chores around the house. Jesus lets his disciples know much of the same. He says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, you seek me, not because you saw signs, but because you ate your fill of the loaves." So many saw the miracles Jesus did and followed him, hoping that maybe they could receive their own miracle. This makes us wonder why the disciples were following Jesus. What did they seek? Something as mundane as lunch? Or maybe something more serious that they needed help with in their lives? We all come to Christ as a child of God seeking help with our lives. We are broken because of our weakness. We are broken because of our addictions. We are broken because others have acted poorly towards us. We come to Christ much like the disciples, asking Jesus to perform a miracle in our lives. But there is no free lunch. To have body and blood, we must first have sacrifice. As we come to Jesus, we need to first and foremost understand, acknowledge, and venerate Christ's salvific work on the cross. This was not a simple task. This was not a play acted out by God. This was the Son of God taking on the sin of all mankind, taking that cross and carrying it, all the while mankind mocking him for what he was doing. Christ sacrificed himself so that his creation might be recreated in God's image. And this is where we come in. Through Christ's body and blood, we gain the power to recreate our lives. But this does not come without sacrifice. There is no free lunch. We look at the sacrifice of the cross as we gaze upon the beauty of the sacrifice of the Mass, as we receive the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Christ. We need to answer his sacrifice with our own. Sacrificing our wants, our desires, our fears, sacrificing them knowing that Jesus' sacrifice will recreate us all. We are in crisis. We are in need. We are broke. We are hurt. We are sick. Therefore, we come to Christ. We should gaze upon his sacrifice in the Eucharist and then in turn be willing to make our own sacrifice. In many instances, this may simply require us to sacrifice our fear and rely on God and his love to heal us. Jesus does not want to simply feed us. He wants us to spend eternity with him. As we celebrate the Eucharist, let us first and foremost know the cost of this holy meal. Let us also remember that we are called to answer his sacrifice with our own, our fears, our wants, our desires. Give them up and receive Christ and be filled with heavenly food. Jesus said, "I am the bread of life. He who comes to me shall not hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst." Through Christ's body and blood, through his sacrifice, in combination with the sacrifices of our own, let us partake of the Eucharist and be recreated, and through that new man, never want or fear again. My name is Father Scott Wooten, Parochial Administrator of St. John Vianney Catholic Church in Cleveland, Texas, and this is Eucharistic Revival in the Ordinariate.